left the supper with 3 of his apostles. He headed for a small park called the Garden of Gethsemane. His friends were close by. It was very late Thursday, going into Friday, the day we know as Good Friday. Jesus was downcast and full of woe. Because of the journey over which he had to go. He went to Gethsemane, and there he went down on bended knee. Soldiers came with flashing swords.
Where is Jesus? Where is Jesus?
Swearing and cursing and using rude words. The ear of a soldier Peter did hack, but with his power, Jesus healed it back.
They dragged him away and locked the door. They wondered what fate laid for him in store. They took him before the Jewish high priest, the very ones who let Jesus loose.
Judas was heartbroken at his deed. He'd been driven by jealousy and a sense of greed. What he had done was a terrible thing. His guilt hung like a long length of string.
Peter followed with Jesus, but out of view. He was really unsure what he should do.
You're a friend of Jesus.
Laughed the pretty girl. She pointed her finger and gave her 12.
He looked the girl right in the eye.
I know I've known Jesus. That's a lie.
Peter was scared of what would happen to him. To deny Jesus Christ was a terrible sin. Peter then had an outstanding brainwave. This man Jesus, he would surely save. Barabbas was a wicked and evil man. He was the main part of Pilate's plan.
Not to be served
Pilate the judge said, "Look at your king." Pilate asked them, "Did I kill him?" Yes! The soldiers took Jesus away. Think about the time that he was lonely. How did that feel? Have you laughed at anyone? Is that nice? When you feel you can't do it, help us. When you are lonely, pray it to me. Teach us to share. Soldiers led Jesus away as Pilate left. They put a crown of thorns on his head. They beat him up. They made fun of him. They laid a heavy cross on his shoulder. They ordered him to carry it to a place called Calvary. His whole body ached. He was so tired. He couldn't even think about the times you're not treated fairly. How does that feel? Think about your reaction of taking a heavy cross. Jesus was so weak he couldn't stand the weight of the cross.
He fell to the ground.
Perhaps as he lay there, weak and in pain, he remembered the words of Job. I have rubbed my face in dust, it is red with tears. My breath grows weak, and I can feel the grave is waiting for me.
The soldiers had no compassion. They pulled Jesus up and pushed him forward.
Think about the times that you're really tired but you have to do something. How does that feel? Think about Jesus with a heavy cross. The conversation Jesus meets his mother. Mary was following Jesus when Jesus was carrying the cross.
Watch him stumble along. She must have remembered what Simon said to her.
Mary, your sorrow over this child will be great.
Now the soldiers were allowing Mary to talk to Jesus. Can I talk for my son?
Fine. You can talk to Jesus.
She only had a moment and there was so much she wanted to say. And then she knew exactly what Simon meant.
I love you, son. Think about the people you love. What is important and special about them? How do they help you when things are difficult? When we don't want to listen, we open our ears to hear.
When it'll be easier to look away, we open our eyes.
Just as our mothers and fathers love us, help us sharing the whole human family. Amen.
The fifth station.
Simon helped Jesus carry the cross. Simon was in Africa. He came to Palestine to work in the fields. He had started there, but people still call him a stranger. Yet it was Simon who was called upon to help the cause. The soldiers grabbed him and pushed him towards Jesus.
He must have thought, why me? Is it because I'm different that they are making me do this?
However, when he saw how much Jesus needed his help, he quickly lifted up the cross. Simon didn't want to help at first, but he did his best to help, and soon he was very glad to be helping Jesus. Think about the time you have helped so many. How do you feel? How do you the another person felt?
When my friend needs help, teach me to work with them.
Show me how to listen carefully so that I can offer what they need.
Sixth station. Veronica wipes the face of Jesus.
Veronica saw Jesus and ran forward to wipe the blood and sweat from his face.
Who was she? Maybe a friend of Jesus?
Maybe a woman who had followed Jesus. Whoever she was simply being a friend to Jesus.
At that moment, she understood that friendship can be a great thing.
Veronica was very brave to ignore the servant in order to come to Jesus.
When have you reached out to comfort a vulnerable person?
Like a child or someone who's unwell. Jesus, you know how it feels to be hurt and to cry out in pain and fear.
Walk with us. Show us how to walk together with others.
Show us how to love the people around us.
And to be there for those who need us.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Even with Simon's help, the walk to Calvary is only half over and there's still a long way to go. Jesus stumbles, staggers, and falls. He is breathing heavily and has no strength left, yet he stands up. He is able to go forward because of his strong love.
Think about Jesus struggling to get up. Sometimes when things get too difficult, we have to keep trying. Jesus doesn't give up. How do you think Jesus felt?
When we find it hard to go on, give us the strength we need to finish our work as well as we can and show love to others.
You
Jerusalem.
A huge crowd was following Jesus, including some women who were crying out and weeping for him. Jesus saw their tears and said to them, "Don't cry for me. Cry for yourselves and your children." The women must have wondered what Jesus meant. He was the one carrying the cross, yet he was asking them to weep for themselves. They shook their heads in wonder as he shoved forward.
Even at this difficult time, Jesus was still not thinking of himself, but showing love to those who need it. Think of a time when you thought only of yourself rather than what was best for others. How could you speak up for others?
As we hear the stories of our sisters and brothers who live in poverty, give us the courage to raise our voices so that together we can work for a change.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Jesus falls the third time.
A third time Jesus falls. He has no more strength left. He has lost a lot of blood. The hot sun burns his skin as he climbs a hill carrying his heavy cross. Again he struggles to stand up because he has chosen to live the way of the cross out of love for us. When you feel like you can't keep trying, when things feel too difficult, who could you turn to? How can we be there for others when they are finding things too difficult? When we lose hope, when everything is just too difficult, show us how to reach out to each other and hold hands, so that none of us have to do everything on our own. Help us to know that you walk always aside us, even when we feel most alone.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you. Jesus is stripped of his clothing.
Jesus had reached the top of the hill. The soldiers let him drop the cross to the ground. While Jesus stands there in front of the crowds, the soldiers pull off his clothes, leaving him embarrassed and humiliated. He's being treated as a common criminal, as if he were a worthless human being, the lowest of the low.
How do you think Jesus was feeling as the soldiers laughed at him? Think about a time when others treated you badly. What did you do? What did other people do to help you? What can you do next time when you see someone treated badly and laughed at?
When we see someone being treated unfairly, being picked on and bullied, give us the courage to stand up for them. We are your global family made of many different colours, different cultures and different religions. Make us one family united in you. We adore you,
O Christ, and we praise you.
The soldiers nailed Jesus to the cross, and they also nailed two other men to the crosses, one on each side of Jesus. Pilate had written a notice to be put on the cross of Jesus.
It said, "Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews." The leaders protested that Jesus was not really their king, but Pilate wouldn't change what was written on it. The soldiers raised the cross upright with Pilate's sign on it.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sometimes we say or do hurtful things to others. How do you think they feel? How can you make them feel better?
Go.
Challenge us. When we hold people back, when we look down on them.
When we don't treat them with respect. Help us to remember that everyone is equal in the way that way we all be in your.
The 12th station. Jesus dies on the cross.
12. Even at the last minute, Jesus is thinking of others. He asks for them to be forgiven. Think about all the suffering Jesus has just gone through. Jesus still shows love and kindness to others. When do I show love and kindness to others? Do I only show love and kindness to others when I am in a good mood? Or do I also show love and kindness even when it is difficult?
And show us how to walk with others who live in fear, who face death through hunger, thirst, violence and war. Show us how to pray for our sisters and brothers that we do not know and we will not meet, but who are always loved by you.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
broken down from the cross.
A man named Joseph from the town of Arimathea went to Pilate and asked permission to remove the body of Jesus from the cross. He placed Jesus in Mary's arms, and together they wrapped him in a linen sheet. Filled with sorrow, Mary looked at the body of her son. She had loved and cared for him through his childhood and had been at his side when he was a man. Now his life is over. She wept for him, for herself, and for us. Think.
Mary held Jesus just like when he was a baby. How must have Mary felt remembering all the happy days she had with Jesus? Think about family and friends that make you happy. Why do they make you happy? And what does it mean to be a really good friend?
Walk with us.
And show us how to be friends to those far away and to those close to us and far away. Teach us how to see you in everyone, to be kind, to be loving, to be strong, to be like you.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
Jesus is placed in the tomb.
Joseph of Arimathea carried Jesus' body to a grave that had been carved out of rock, a grave that had never been used. After he put the body inside, he rolled a stone to cover the entrance. Slowly and sadly, Mary, who had gone to the tomb with Jesus, left her son there, believing that she would never see him again.
Think.
Jesus' friends are sad. They think that it's the end of Jesus' story. Jesus will no longer be able to teach them, eat with them, or pray with them. But Jesus is always with us. Can you think of a time that you turned to Jesus for help?
Walk with us.
Help us to be generous and gentle, kind and loving. Guide us in difficult times so that we can share you with our sisters and brothers when they feel sad and alone.
We adore you, O Christ, and we praise you.
The body remained in the tomb on Saturday, early Sunday morning, Easter Sunday. Some of Jesus' friends went to visit the body.
On Easter morning, it was warm and dry, except for a tear in Mary's eye. The women set off a rapid pace. The pain and sorrow showed in their face.
They took a basket of bandages and cream to anoint the man who shattered their dream. At the mouth of the tomb they stood in fear, not the faintest noise could the women hear.
A young man stepped up and said,
Do not fear.
"The man you seek has gone from here. Jesus Christ has risen up today to show mankind the one true way."
The woman was shocked and knelt in the sand. The stranger gently took their hand. The important thing is that he's once more with you, in the air we breathe and behind every door.
I worship you.